I think we've gotten these. Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and in today's video, I'm sharing my Aldi grocery haul with you guys. I went straight from the gym this morning, and it's actually been a gloomy, rainy morning, so it wasn't too busy. I was able to kind of take my time, and I found a lot of new things that I'm excited to try. So I'll be sharing everything today. I'll include the WeightWatchers points, and then I'll pop the nutrition label for items on the screen as I talk about them. I'll also just be sharing how I incorporate these different foods to stay on track, maintaining my 70-pound weight loss while also prioritizing building muscle. I really like to prioritize protein and fiber. And you'll see that with a lot of the things that I got today. I'll just be walking through starting with produce. There's actually a good amount of it today. Actually, before I get to produce, I wanted to share the drinks that I got. I've shared about the brand Sparkling Ice. They have caffeine drinks and I love them. They're really good. They've got like 70 milligrams of caffeine, so it's the perfect amount. They're carbonated and they're all different fruity flavors. Although they did just release a pop line. There's a root beer flavor that I think we're gonna try in our next snack review. But anyway, they've got an off-brand version, the Aldi brand. It is called Sparkling Frost with caffeine. So we really like the black raspberry and the blue raspberry flavor, and it's so much cheaper. Usually I get a deal for the other sparkling caffeine drinks and they're like 3 for $5. And these were all, I wanna say 72 or 79 cents today. So we definitely stocked up on the blue and black raspberry. We ended up just taking a case of it, but then they also had some different flavors today that were limited edition. They have a pineapple mango, a strawberry watermelon, and then I'm actually just gonna crack this one open and try it right now. This is red, white, and blue, and I haven't had any caffeine today, so I'm really needing this right now. There's 0 points on WeightWatchers, and they've got 5 calories and 2 carbs, and like I said, 70 milligrams of caffeine. So let's give this one a try. Ooh, kind of smells citrusy actually. That's good. A little bit tart, but I don't even know what flavor that is. Kind of tastes like sweet tarts. So I stocked up on these as well, hoping that we actually like them, but they're 0 points, like I said, and the perfect amount of caffeine. Okay, but now that I'm able to sip on that, let's get started with the produce that I got. I was kind of craving a big salad. I'm planning to just prep some lettuce with peppers, tomatoes, cucumber to make a salad that I can have in the fridge ready, because sometimes I go through phases where I like to have a salad before dinner. I wish I was more consistent with it because I feel like it just helps me digest better. It helps to get me a little bit full before I even eat my meal, and it's a nice way to incorporate some vegetables. But I'm just gonna chop up some things and toss it into a big bowl and store it in the fridge. I got the cucumber for that reason, so I'll just chop this up and mix it in with the lettuce. For the lettuce, I just got some romaine and I'll just chop it into smaller pieces. That's another thing about salads. I really like to cut everything into much smaller pieces, and it gets me more likely to eat salad and enjoy it. So that's why it's also helpful to kind of just prep it ahead of time. I also wanted some tomatoes in it, and these looked really good. They are 0 points and they were just nice and red, so I'll just like quarter them up and mix them in with the lettuce. And then I also got sweet peppers to mix in with that salad. These are 0 points. I use them for a few other things too, so if I'm making a quick egg scramble, I'll toss in a couple of these chopped up. Sometimes I just need some veggies for my rice bowl that I'm making, so I'll cut these maybe with some onion or some zucchini and then fry them up in a pan to add to my bowl. But they actually didn't have any bell peppers today, so I made sure to grab a bag of sweet peppers. And I do have a couple bell peppers left from my last grocery trip, so it wasn't a problem, and this will work well for those different recipes. Okay, we already have some bananas, but they are so green, so Adam asked me to grab bananas that weren't too green, and these were the most yellow ones I could find. They're still pretty green, but a little bit better than what we have now. So he likes to take these to work. I like to use them for protein shakes, bowls of cereal, even my yogurt bowls lately. I've been heating them up in the air fryer with some cinnamon and then mixing it with cereal and vanilla Greek yogurt. So hopefully these ripen up faster than the ones we've already got. Okay, then right at the front they had some cherries, and these looked so good. My mouth is actually watering thinking about them. I'm excited to have these as a quick fruit option after my breakfast or after my lunch. I was looking at the grapes and I wasn't really having the taste for them. I feel like I've had a lot of grapes lately, both red and green, so this is a nice way to mix it up and to just have another fruit option after I finish my meals. So there's 0 points on WeightWatchers. They look really good today. Another thing that looked good, this corn on the cob. So I haven't even started grilling yet this year, but I need to fire up the grill and make some of this corn on the cob with some burgers or something. Or maybe the chicken that I got this time I'll grill instead of using my griddle, and then I can easily just grill these up as well. It's a nice easy side for dinners that I like to incorporate every now and then. I'm excited for it to be fresh at the farmer's market, but this will do till then. It looks really good. I got some zucchini, which is 0 points on WeightWatchers, and I like to use for my veggie mix, or sometimes when I just need a vegetable to add to a dish. And I did just finally try zucchini noodles and I really liked them. So I might need to get a spiralizer so I can start making those more often. But I'm excited. Our garden should have some zucchini soon, but until then I just got some from the store today. My normal blueberries that I got for yogurt bowls and pancakes, which I haven't had pancakes in a while and I'm kind of craving them with some chicken sausage, a little bit of syrup and blueberries. I don't think I have any whipped cream. I should have gotten that today, but either way, these are a really good topping on things like that. My yogurt bowls, like I said, or just to snack on. I recently in my reset video mixed some grapes, strawberries, and blueberries together. It was really good to just have like the combination of it, so I might start doing that more. I always need apples, so these were Honeycrisp today, and they look really, really good. They were pretty big, and lately I've been cutting them up and having them with Greek yogurt peanut butter honey dip. That's just been something I crave after dinner instead of just having my apple plain, but some days I also just have it plain right after I finish my meal, and then I'll have something else for dessert. It's just been a nice, satisfying way to get a little extra protein in and satisfy my sweet tooth at the end of the night. I grabbed this bag of spinach that I plan to make with eggs. I don't know if I'm going to do like a big egg bake, kind of like the spinach square egg bake I made in my reset video. That was a couple times ago though, but I really like spinach with eggs, so that was my main plan to use this for when I got it. Other than that, I might toss a little bit into the pre-made salad that I'm gonna have in the fridge. I thought that that would be a good extra ingredient to mix in. It's a nice way to get a little extra protein and fiber in the day. Then I got these green beans, which specifically I was thinking about just roasting them with some garlic and sesame oil and then using them as a side with some fried rice or sesame noodles. That just sounded really good, and that's why I grabbed these today. They're 0 points on WeightWatchers, and I feel like every time I go grocery shopping, I try to pick one vegetable like this. So usually it's like pea pods or snap peas, green beans, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, or asparagus, and I kind of rotate through those different vegetables, so it was time for me to just get some green beans today. Okay, I didn't need any frozen fruit for my yogurt bowls. I've still got some left because I got some from Sam's, but I did grab some fruit to make smoothies with because I've been doing that more recently. So this is a tropical blend. It's got pineapple, mango, strawberry, and papaya. It's 0 points on WeightWatchers, although technically blended fruit isn't 0, but I just count it as that because I find that my smoothies are still pretty satiating, and I try to add some protein to them and make them more of a nourishing meal or kind of snack. But either way, this is the frozen fruit I got to make my smoothies with. I've actually been using protein water mixed in with them, and it works really well. And then with a little bit of Greek yogurt, I recently did it in my 0 point day, and it's got me craving it more and more. So that's why I got more of this fruit specifically to make some smoothies. I like to do like Jamba Juice copycat recipes. This isn't 0 points on WeightWatchers. It's a point for the serving, and usually we get the pineapple poblano. I got it first try. Usually I can't say it, but anyway, this was right next to it. This is their Southwest guacamole, and this one has black beans, roasted corn, and tomatoes. So I thought that was something different. It's not gonna be as sweet as the pineapple one we usually get, which is nice, but I kind of wanted something different today. So we haven't tried this one before. It's 35 calories for the serving of 2 tablespoons, 2.5 grams of fat, 3 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 1 gram of protein. And that'll be good as an ingredient, first of all, just as a snack with some tortilla chips, but I also like to add it to my tacos or different like rice taco bowls. It's a nice topping to add, and especially if it isn't too sweet. Sometimes I found with the pineapple poblano, it didn't go with everything, and I feel like the Southwest will go with more of those types of dishes. Then a couple canned produce items. I got some diced tomatoes. So I'm gonna be trying to make a lightened up deep dish pizza, and I thought that these would be perfect for that. I actually like smaller tomato chunks with my sauce, so that's why I got the petite diced. They're 0 points on WeightWatchers, and just something I incorporate with different pasta and pizza dishes here and there. I also got some tomato paste, which I use for the same reason. I usually add some water to it and some seasonings, and then I can use it as a tomato sauce for pizzas or pasta. Okay, a couple other pantry items I got. This was green sriracha hot sauce, which we haven't tried before. It's just the Aldi brand, and they had a red sriracha as well, but I've still got one from Trader Joe's, and I feel like this is probably pretty similar anyway, the red one that was there. So I'm excited to try this out. It'll be good for bowls and tacos and burritos, enchilada melts, all of those types of things. So we'll have to try this out and see how spicy it is though. So we'll have to try this out and see how spicy it actually is, but hopefully it'll add some good flavor. I also really like using sriracha on my eggs, so that was the other thing I was thinking to use this for. I grabbed this for Adam because I don't think he's tried it before, and he's always looking for new buffalo sauces to try. This is again just the Aldi brand. It's their medium buffalo wing sauce. It's the same as Sweet Baby Ray's. It's a point for 2 tablespoons, 35 calories, 3 grams of fat, and 2 carbs. And I'm just wondering how spicy it'll be, if it has good flavor. Maybe we'll save it for a snack review to try it out. Like I said, he's always looking for new buffalo sauce to use for his buffalo wraps. If we do like an appetizer night and make some chicken, he'll just dip his chicken in it, and then he just puts it on everything, I swear. I also needed some soy sauce, so I always grab the less sodium if that's an option. It's 0 points and just an ingredient I use when I make like fried rice, sesame noodles, all those different types of recipes, and I just finished my last bottle. I got some Parmesan cheese. This is the grated Parmesan, so it's a point for the serving of 2 teaspoons, 20 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, and 2 grams of protein. I needed some more of this because first of all, I'll use it to top the deep dish pizza that I make, but I also use it for a lot of different things, like when I roast vegetables. Sometimes I'll do like the green beans or asparagus or something, tossed with some olive oil or olive oil spray, some different seasonings, and then Parmesan, and it's really good that way. It adds some good flavor without adding a bunch of points. I also use it to make pasta, so if I'm not doing like a red sauce, sometimes I'll just toss the pasta in olive oil and some Parmesan, and that is really one of my favorite meals to have. But I just needed to grab another bottle of that. I also needed some more panko breadcrumbs, which I use for turkey burgers or chicken burgers or meatballs. I mix in some egg seasoning and panko with the ground meat. I also use it to bread different things, so if I'm breading chicken or chicken patties or something like that, I like to use panko for that extra crunch. For the serving of a 1/3 cup, it's 110 calories, 23 carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, and 3 grams of protein. Usually I end up just using like a 1 or 2 point serving when I use it for breading, and also when it's mixed in the burgers, it really gets dispersed. Okay, the only dairy item that I got today, I grabbed some shredded cheese. So they've got the reduced fat sharp cheddar and the reduced fat Mexican style. These are both cheeses that I go through pretty quickly. I like to use them for pizzas, enchilada bakes, eggs, pasta, all of those different things. And I find that this one melts pretty nicely for a reduced fat cheese. It is 4 points for the serving of a 1/4 cup for both of them. 90 calories, 6 grams of fat, 2 carbs, and 7 grams of protein. And I've still got some shredded mozzarella in there, so I'm covered with cheese now. I like having all the different options for any meal because I really just switch up which one I use. They pretty much all work with all of them. Even like the mozzarella goes well with eggs, but then so do these. So it's just nice to have options. Moving on to some proteins that I grabbed today. I don't know what it is about their shrimp, but every time I've gotten their raw shrimp, we have loved it. It's been such a good texture and flavor, and I've just never had any issues with it. It works really well as an ingredient with pasta. I could make pasta with every single thing, so I say that for almost every ingredient that I use, but it is nice to incorporate this with a vegetable, some pasta, maybe some of that olive oil Parmesan, like I said, or I also like to use it for different sushi-inspired meals, whether it's just like kind of a poke bowl, or even with sesame noodles, a lot of the time I'll add shrimp in and just cook it. It only takes a few minutes and it's nice and fresh. For the serving of 4 ounces, it's 90 calories and 0 points on WeightWatchers. It's got 1 gram of fat, 1 carb, and 17 grams of protein. I also got some ground chicken today, 0 points on WeightWatchers. For the serving of 4 ounces, it's 160 calories. It's got 7 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 23 grams of protein. So it really helps me to incorporate protein with my meals. It's nice and filling, and I can use it for so many things. Most of the time, I end up making it into ground taco meat. I'll just cook it up and add some taco seasoning and water. I also like to make it into chicken burgers, like I said, meatballs. And then sometimes I'll just cook it up and add some like garlic seasoning to it, and then I can add it to a bunch of different dishes. I can kind of season it as I go because it's just nice to have it prepped and cooked in the fridge. 0 points and a nice high protein option. And same with just regular chicken breast. I got this big pack here. This is about 5 pounds. It's 0 points on WeightWatchers, something that I like to prep all at once so that I just have it ready in the fridge. So I'll make all this chicken. I'll probably use 2 different marinade packets for it because this is a good amount of chicken, and that way it gets nice and flavorful. I like to let it sit overnight, and then I'll either cook it with my griddle inside or a pan on the stove, or I'll take it outside and grill, which I'm thinking I might do that this time. It's 0 points and a nice ingredient that I can incorporate with a bunch of meals. It's nice to have different marinade packets as options because a lot of the time I'll do like a zesty herb or garlic type seasoning, and then I can use the chicken for pasta, rice bowls, wraps, sandwiches, a bunch of different things. Okay, we've gotten these before. They are fully cooked turkey with cheddar, smoked turkey sausage with cheddar cheese. They are 3 points for a link on WeightWatchers, 120 calories. They've got 6 grams of fat, 6 carbs, a gram of fiber, 2 grams of sugar, and 9 grams of protein. And my main thought for these is to use them for an appetizer night. I love making 2-ingredient dough and cutting each one into like 4 pieces, and then each piece I just wrap in some 2-ingredient dough. Although since these are 3 points for the link, maybe I'll just cut them into 3 pieces and make them a little bigger, but then still just do a point of dough with them. Usually they come out to 2 points a bite because I do a quarter of a sausage. Usually they're 4 points. That'll be nice to just be able to cut that up, wrap it in the dough, pop it in the oven, and then I spray it with some nonstick spray, or I'll do like an egg wash, and I like to add everything seasoning to it. It adds such good flavor, and it really is just one of my favorite things to have for our appetizer nights. So I'm excited to make these. I also got some shredded rotisserie chicken. So this I like to make into chicken salad for Adam to bring to work, and then sometimes I'll have like a serving of it as like a snack plate, but chicken salad isn't always my favorite, and it's one of his favorite things, so it's nice to just have this as a quick and easy option. I'll chop up a pepper, an onion, add some light mayo and Greek yogurt, and then just mix it with the chicken. And this one is so seasoned that I don't even usually add any other seasonings to it unless I'm making it more specifically flavored. So sometimes I'll even add in some buffalo sauce to make it buffalo for him. That's my plan with this chicken salad. It's 110 calories for 3 ounces, 3 grams of fat. It's got 1 carb and 18 grams of protein. And in the ingredient list, it does say that it has olive oil as the second to last ingredient, but I usually just track this as 0 points on WeightWatchers. It is chicken breast. That's just what works best for us. And it's nice because it makes a big batch of chicken salad. This was something I hadn't seen before. They are seasoned chicken breast strips. Pretty much the same chicken, I'm guessing, just in actual strips like this. But I thought that this would be good for like chicken fajitas or tacos or enchilada bakes. And then also just a convenient protein that I could add to salad if I want it. Like I mentioned, I'm not huge on eating salads. I don't crave them all the time, but when I do start to crave them, I like to take advantage of it because I'll just go through phases. So I figured that even if I do a salad as a meal, I could add some chicken and make it much more filling. And this would be a good chicken option for that because it's got really good flavor if it is the same as this, which it looks pretty similar. I'm excited to try this out and see how it is. They also had pulled pork in a container like this, which I haven't seen before. I debated trying it, but I just ended up going with these and then the chicken. This is something, I don't think we've tried this flavor before, but I know we've tried their salmon burgers and enjoyed them. These are teriyaki Alaska salmon burgers. They are 4 points for 1 patty, which is a little bit higher than I would have wanted, especially because salmon's usually 0 points, but it might just be a nice convenient option that when I have a busy day of cookies and I just want a quick meal to throw together, I can pop a couple of these on the grill or the stove and just heat them up with maybe some fried rice or noodles. I was kind of thinking more of that because it is like a teriyaki flavor. You could also have it on buns like this, but I feel like a lot of the time when I get these burger patties and have them as a convenient protein option, I like to use them as ingredients to mix into like bowls with lots of vegetables and stuff, or even like a pasta or sesame noodles. For 1 burger, it's 4 points, 140 calories, 7 grams of fat. It's got 5 carbs, 4 grams of sugar with 4 of that being added, and then 14 grams of protein. So I'm excited to try these out and just have a new option. I can't remember if we've tried this flavor. There was another flavor they had there, like Chipotle, I want to say, and I thought that's the one we tried, but I don't know. We'll have to see how these are. One more freezer item that I got. I love the pot stickers from Aldi. I've tried a bunch of different ones. I actually got a really big bag from Sam's Club and I was kind of disappointed in how they were, especially comparing them side by side with these. I had to finish up a bag of these and then I also made some of the Sam's Club's one, and I feel like they just didn't compare to the Aldi ones. I just really like the flavor, the texture, everything about them is so good. They're just tender dumplings filled with chicken and vegetables. When you scan it, it says it's 6 points for 5 pieces, although the label is for 6 pieces. So 6 pieces, it's 240 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, 36 carbs, 6 grams of fiber, 3 grams of sugar, and 14 grams of protein. And a lot of the time I don't have 6 at a time. I'll do like 4 and have it as a side with some rice or some sesame noodles like I mentioned. But they come out to about a point a piece, which is good for pot stickers. And my favorite way to cook them is just on the stove. I like to kind of fry them up and then steam them at the end. I add some water and cover them. and it just makes them the perfect texture and consistency. I really enjoy these. I just finished the bag of them and I was happy that they still had them there. Okay, then moving on to a couple snacky items that I grabbed today. When I start skating in the summer, I really start to crave nuts more. So cashews and peanuts and almonds. I just really start to crave trail mix specifically. And I find that they're just more satiating. I do have to limit the portions because I could just continue eating them. And they really do add up quickly when it comes to fat, calories, and points. But it's nice to have those options, especially when I'm craving them. I don't want to feel restricted. So I just do my best to stick to portion sizes. And I still like to buy these things to incorporate in moderation. So the first thing that I got today, these are hot honey roasted cashews. I'm a little nervous they're gonna be too spicy and become a snack for Adam, but I really wanted to try the flavor of them. For the serving of an ounce or about 19 pieces, it's 6 points on WeightWatchers, 160 calories, 12 grams of fat, 11 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 5 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of protein. So I'm excited to have these as just a snack option. When it comes to flavored cashews like this, I do like to mix them with air pop popcorn to make a snack mix out of them. So I was thinking maybe I would do that with these, but I'm hoping they're not too spicy. Then, like I said, I like to get some trail mix. The one specifically that I wanted, this is their indulgent trail mix. It is 7 points for the serving of a quarter cup. It's 140 calories, 8 grams of fat. It's got 16 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 13 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of protein. So this one is definitely more of like a dessert trail mix. It comes with peanut butter drops, semi-sweet chocolate drops, white chocolate drops, peanuts, dried cranberries, golden raisins, almonds, and cashews. And this is one of my favorite trail mixes to have. Again, it's just something that I need to incorporate in moderation. And sometimes I like to just grab like a small handful of it here and there, and it satisfies that craving. Like I said, a lot of the times after I come back from rollerblading, that's what I crave. And that's why I grabbed this trail mix today. Then I also grabbed this sweet and spicy Cajun trail mix, which I usually prefer the sweet ones. Adam likes the salty like this, and especially if they're a little spicy. So this has peanuts, butter toffee peanuts, Cajun style corn sticks, roasted corn, honey roasted sesame sticks, and almonds. So it is a little bit sweet too, but again, more spicy and salty. And I kind of like the ones that have like dried fruit and stuff. But these are 150 calories for a quarter cup and 6 points on WeightWatchers. They've got 10 grams of fat, 14 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 5 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of protein. And again, that's another one that works well mixed in with air pop popcorn. So you can do like 2, 3, 4 cups of air pop popcorn and then just mix in the 6 point serving of the trail mix. And then it's a lot more satisfying. You're getting more fiber, but you're getting to enjoy the snack and stay within your points. And I know that nuts are higher point. That's one thing that I've always used my weeklies for. It's just worth it. Same thing with like protein bars that I enjoy, stuff like that. So I may go over my points for the day, but that's what those weeklies are for. And a lot of the times I'm using them on foods like trail mix. I got these to try. So they look like they are like the Dots pretzels, I want to say. These are just the Aldi brand honey mustard home style seasoned pretzels. Another snack option that I like to mix in with my air pop popcorn, or a lot of the time I'll use pretzels on my snack plates to scoop up my tuna or chicken salad or even like hummus, which I really wanted to get hummus today and I forgot to go back and grab it. But anyway, these are 4 points for the serving of about 15 pretzels, 130 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, 21 carbs, 4 grams of sugar, and 2 grams of protein. Then the last thing I got, and the reason that I wanted to go back and grab hummus, but I forgot to, I was really craving a snack plate with some vegetables, some hummus, and some pita crackers. And I got some flavors today that we haven't tried. This is just their garlic and chive pita crackers. They are 4 points for the serving of about 10 of them, 130 calories, 4 grams of fat, 20 carbs, and 3 grams of protein. And then this flavor is pizza, which it's the same for everything except it has 4 grams of protein, but it's 4 points on WeightWatchers for the serving of 10 crackers. And they look pretty seasoned in the picture, so I'm hoping they are. And I'm hoping the pizza flavor is good. Also, we're going to start getting some tomatoes from the garden and fresh basil. And I start making a lot more like bruschetta with a little bit of balsamic. And so kind of like the picture they have here, I think that that would be really good with these crackers, but I have to wait till I start getting some tomatoes from the garden first. That wraps up everything that I got today from Aldi. A lot of new things that I'm excited to try, and then a lot of the staple items that really help me to stay on track. Having the fridge packed with a lot of proteins and vegetables and fruits like this really does make it a little bit easier for me to say no to takeout food when I'm craving it, or just convenient options that don't help me stay on track. It's nice to just set myself up for success by having these things. And some of these things I'll also prep ahead of time. Like I said, the salad, I might even just roast those green beans up and have them in a container. I'll cook up the grilled chicken and also make the ground chicken into taco meat or something. And all of those things will just help me to stay on track throughout the week. It's always a relief to get this done and to have some nice options. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Hopefully you get some ideas of different things maybe to try that you haven't before, or different ways to incorporate some things that you already enjoy. But I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.